The world above was silent. A thick layer of ice muffled everything, turning the winter afternoon into a frozen, motionless world. Beneath it, 12-year-old Jake gasped in terror, his hands slamming against the glassy barrier between him and the air he so desperately needed. His lungs burned, his body grew sluggish, and the reality of what was happening crashed down on him like the icy water that had swallowed him whole. It had started as an ordinary winter day in Maple Creek, a small town nestled in the Canadian Rockies. The lake, always a gathering place for kids in the summer, had transformed into a skating paradise. But Jake, adventurous and stubborn, had wandered too far from the safe areas, stepping onto thinner ice no one had dared to test. One wrong move, a sharp crack beneath his boots, and suddenly the lake had opened up beneath him. His vision blurred, the light above him dimming as his frantic movements slowed. This is it, he thought, his mind whispering of regret, of things left unsaid, of his mom, of his dog Bear. Then, as his world darkened, a shadow moved above. A furious, desperate scratching sound echoed through the ice, and then a crack. With a final push, Jake's consciousness faded and everything went black. He woke to warmth, to air filling his lungs in great ragged gulps. To rough, wet fur pressed against his face. His vision cleared, revealing something impossible. Bear, his scruffy golden-furred mutt, was standing over him, whimpering, licking his face, his body trembling from exertion. Around them, shattered ice lay scattered across the frozen lake. Jake turned his head, coughing up water, and saw deep claw marks in the ice. Bear's paws were bloodied. His dog's friend had dug through solid ice to save him. A sharp voice cut through his daze. Jake! Oh my God! His mother's arms wrapped around him, her sobs shaking them both. Someone, a fisherman who had seen the commotion, was kneeling beside them, pulling off his coat, wrapping Jake in warmth. Sirens wailed in the distance. Through his mother's tear-filled relief and the fisherman's murmurs of disbelief, one thing became clear. Bear had done the impossible. He had sensed Jake's struggle, clawed through inches of ice with raw desperation, and pulled his boy to safety. The story spread like wildfire. Local news, then national outlets, picked it up. Hero Dog saves boy from frozen lake, headlines screamed. Offers flooded in. Dog food companies wanted to sponsor Bear. A pet rescue foundation wanted to honor him. But for Jake, none of that mattered, because something had shifted. Before the accident, he had always thought himself independent, tough. He didn't like asking for help. But as he lay in the hospital bed, watching Bear curled at his feet, bandaged paws rising and falling with each deep breath, he realized something. He was alive because of love, not just instinct, not just luck. A week later, Jake and his mom stood outside the vet's office. The doctor had patched Bear up, saying he'd be just fine with some rest. As they stepped outside into the cold air, Jake knelt down and buried his face in Bear's fur. Thank you, he whispered. Because it wasn't just a boy and his dog anymore. It was something deeper, something unbreakable.